Reynard Hardware Store. It's a locally owned store which offers tools, supplies, and painting supplies. The business is located on the main street of the city. The store competes against medium and large franchises within 25 minutes of them. They've been in business for over 50 years. Still remains owned by the founder's family and retains loyal customer base. The grandson of the founders operates business now. While he appreciates his loyalty, they are not attracting younger families that live in the area or recently relocated in the area. The owner also wants to offer handy services for busy families and his loyal customers who are getting older and need trustworthy, reliable handy services. They would like to change their business name to Reynard Hardware and Services. The online presence would help Reynard Hardware and Services to increase its customer base, and also this would help the business to increase revenue and be able to compete with the larger and the medium-sized franchises in the area. In order to best serve Reynard Hardware, we brought together a team of highly qualified and motivated consultants to take their business to the next level. This team consists of 4 experienced information systems professionals, each whom will be fully committed to the successful implementation of the project within the scope. As consultants, we understand the importance of identifying our stakeholders. These stakeholders may be directly or indirectly affected by the project. Getting our stakeholders involved in a project will be very critical to the success of the project. In this case, our project stakeholders are the business owner, suppliers, financial institutions like PayPal, bank, and merchant services to be able to receive credit card transactions for payment.
On this next slide, we explain the importance of a contract. A contract establishes the clear roles and responsibilities of the parties involved in the contract. The contract builds on long-term relationships. It forces each party to establish expectations of the other in the form of a new relationship. A contract is also used for risk management. It can be used by the project team to transfer some of the project risk to a third party.
This slide and the following slide contain images of a standard contract template our consulting firm uses with our customers.
On the previous slides, we showed you an example of a contract. On the next 3 slides, I will explain each of the key sections of the contract agreement that was prepared for Reynard's Hardware and Services. The first section is the introduction section. The introduction section states the parties involved in the contract agreement and the terms and conditions that govern the contract agreement. It also states the date on which the contract agreement between both parties commences. The objectives section describes the objectives for Reynard's Hardware and Services contract, and those are to provide governance over the parties' relationship, to clarify scope, roles, and responsibilities of the parties, to define the financial management terms between the parties, and to confirm the duration and renegotiation terms for the parties. Finally, the scope section describes the in-scope activities as those activities defined and governed by the Reynard's Hardware and Services Project Statement of Work. The next section is the Key Contacts section. This section states the key contact names for each party defined in the contract. The audience section states that the intended audience for the contract agreement comprises the Reynard's hardware and services business owners and executives, and the software development team project managers, project leaders, project sponsors, and project executives. Finally, the period of agreement section states that the Reynard's hardware and services agreement commences on the day that it is accepted and continues until such time it is formally terminated by the Reynard's hardware and services business owner. The last three sections of the contract are the contract type and price, contract terms, and acceptance. The contract type and price section of the Reynard's hardware and services contract agreement establishes the type of contract agreed to by both parties. The Reynard's hardware and services contract agreement is a cost plus incentive fee with the following targets and sharing ratio. Target cost $18,000, target fee $4,000, target price $22,000, and a sharing ratio of 70-30. The contract terms section of the Reynard's hardware and services contract agreement states that the software development team agrees to provide the deliverables as stated in the Reynard's hardware and services project statement of work, and that the Reynard's hardware and services business owners and delegates agree to participate in all work prioritization, planning, and review of the deliverables. Finally, the acceptance section of the Reynard's hardware and services contract agreement documents the formal acceptance by both parties. This next slide shows the high-level project status update for the Reynard's hardware and services online store project. For Release 1, the online shopping has been deployed. Release 2, the handyman services, is currently underway. This next slide shows the burn-up chart for the Reynard's hardware and service online store project as of April 22nd. The total project points remain at 183 points, as shown by the blue line on the top of the chart. The project planned story points are shown by the gray dotted line. The green line shows the cumulative story points completed to date. The team is nearing completion of Sprint 1.3 and has completed 90 cumulative story points. As you can see by the burn-up chart, the project team is tracking to schedule.
Since our last update on 3/13/2019, we have successfully deployed online shopping Sprint 1.1, Sprint 1.2, Sprint 1.3, finished regression testing, deployed Release 1 to production, completed training, and handoff to the web developer, thus completing online shopping for Reynard Hardware and Service. Release 2, Sprint 2.1, is on schedule to be deployed for 4/30/2019. We are also on time for Sprint 2.2, which will be deployed on 5/14/2019, and we completed our requirements on 4/24 for Sprint 2.2. While we haven't begun work on Sprint 2.3, planning begins 5/5/2019.